Being critical of your own art and others is a vital component to improving your craft. Everyone knows that. But I've taken this concept too far. I've tried to be as critical over the years as possible because I've wanted to be authentic in what I do. And while I've reaped the rewards of that strict scrutiny I've placed on myself, I've also paid the price as well. It's been a bit of a double-edged sword for me. As an artist, I've taught myself to see more of the process behind the work and the why of the choices and how I can improve them in the next project. I'm always yearning for a glimmer of truth in what I do. While I think this has given me an exceptional eye to spot authenticity in others' creations and in my own work, for most of the time it just leaves me dissatisfied, unfulfilled and frustrated in the works I've created or been in. And my fear is that someday I'll just stop producing and stop sharing my work entirely because it just won't have reached this elusive high standard that I've set for myself and which I've come to expect in others. It's hindering my creative process, and I know it. I have another YouTube channel where I make comedy sketches with other actors, and some of these sketches are hilarious, so I've been told, and I agree. And I'm very well aware of the ones that are not funny. But rarely do they make me laugh, and I'm sure to look back and bask in a cringe fest of what I've made. And even thinking about the best sketches makes me cringe on some level, and I know that I shouldn't feel that way about them. There are only really 2 performance videos that I'm proud enough to look back on and not cringe and go, yeah, that was a good work. But for the rest of my art, all I see is the flaws or an attempt at the profound, not quite getting there, or the duct tape in the corners. Nothing ever seems to be good enough, and the lessons learnt seem to be always too late. I should be happy that I'm constantly learning. That's the whole point of making work. You're learning from what you do, but I'm not. So the question that has come up for me lately is, why can't I just be proud of what I've created instead of ripping it apart every time? And how can I implement the steps to do this for the long term? And I guess making this video and sharing it with you is a step in that direction. I hope that over time I can learn to take pride in the creative decisions I make while still being critically constructive. And I think there's little chance that self-critic is going to go away anytime soon. I guess that's my dream moving forward. While I discover so much in creating, and I just couldn't imagine a life without it, and it's given me so much, I wish there was more joy in the work I make. Less judgment, and more spiritual healing of sorts. Yeah, that'd be nice. Because this frustration that I have towards my own work makes it unnecessarily heavy at times. And I look back and go, what the fuck was I thinking? And I know, that's the worst thing about it. If I could just find more pleasure and enjoyment in what I do, it would have walloping effects on my general mood and sense of self-worth, and more than likely improve the content of what I'm making. So I'm making this video in the hopes that I, or anyone else watching, suffering from this same internal dialogue, could try and enjoy the fruits of their labour a little bit more. Because it's meant to be fun and playful, and I'm certainly quick to forget that. Ideally, I should be proud, alone in the leap of faith it takes to try and make something authentic and true. After that, in my more optimistic moments, I think it's just luck whether or not you stumble onto something interesting. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.